In today's video, we're going to be talking about a product causing all kinds of controversy amongst the Magic the Gathering community, Mystery Booster 2. So let's get into it. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to watch the videos. Be sure to hit that like button if you do enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Click the bell icon to be notified when new videos are posted if you're into that sort of thing. About 90% of the people who watch my videos regularly are not subscribed, so if even a few of you took the time to subscribe, it would be a huge help to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about Mystery Booster 2, and before I really dive into this, I was sort of joking a bit in the intro, but there does seem to be a lot of controversy with this product because there are some people in the Magic the Gathering community who are upset that it is going to be convention exclusive with a secret lair listing. We'll get into all the details shortly on that. And then there are some people who are pretty excited about it. I think, first of all, we need to establish that when it comes to card games, especially Magic, of course, there is no pleasing everyone. This product could be the worst product ever made and be convention exclusive, and people would still be upset because there shouldn't be any exclusives anywhere. And then you'll have other people who are like, oh, I'm happy about this. I'm excited. It gives people an incentive to go to cons and stuff. So, you know, you're never going to make everybody happy regardless. However, playing devil's advocate with this product here, if you guys were familiar with the first Mystery Booster, that came out back in 2021, and it was supposed to be convention exclusive initially. There was a convention edition, but due to COVID and obviously people not being able to attend events as much, they did make a retail version of the Mystery Booster that had some retail exclusive cards in it, but was overall a very well-received product. Apparently very fun for drafting, but also had some good cards in it, like Mana Crypt was in there, some really solid reprints. Demonic Tutor was in there at Uncommon, and it was just overall a really fun set that was well received. So fast forwarding to Mystery Booster 2, obviously you can understand why some people might be upset because this set does have a lot of really good reprints already based on what we've seen, as well as test cards and stuff, and as far as we know, it is only going to be available at conventions, as well as a Secret Lair Festival in a Box purchase. Why is that a problem? Well, there's a couple different things we got to break down here. Let's first take a look at the actual box. I have to say, I like the packaging. Very clean, very cool looking package. Kind of more of a, just a little bit more green version of the original, I suppose, but they got some cool stuff going on there. And this is essentially for those of you unfamiliar with the mystery, as much as I can explain it, it is a giant set where each individual slot in the pack comes from a very large sheet of cards. I don't know the exact numbers, but if I remember correctly, with the first Mystery Booster, each sheet had at least like 110 cards or something. So there was like 1,000 plus cards total in the set. And in that one, you had, you know, a slot with a rare, you had a slot with a potential mythic, and then you had other slots that were mostly uncommons, commons that would appear in different places, but there were some really good reprints as well. And then, of course, you had a playtest card. So the experience was that every draft was unique, and that you had, you know, there was the appeal of some pretty good cards in there too. That's fine. That was a really popular set. You can still find them relatively easily, I think, for at least the convention editions. Like, I know my locals has them for, like, they're like 10 or 12 a pack, but it's like $200 a box. If you're going in on it with friends, it can definitely be a really fun draft experience. But what people are a little bit upset about here with this one is that, as of now anyway, this is likely not going to be a retail option at all. Gavin, who is the head of this project, basically said that it was never designed with retail in mind for this product, that it's intended to be convention exclusive to incentivize people to go to the conventions and have something unique for the people who go there. And that what they're going to do is they are going to release the Festival in a Box. Now, they've done these Secret Lair Festival in a Boxes before. It will come with a Secret Lair drop that is exclusive to the Festival in a Box. I think last year we had the Moxes Secret Lair, which was kind of cool and was part of a similar bundle. It'll have a promo pack, it'll have 3 collector boosters, and then you'll get the actual booster box itself. Well, right now, we don't know what the price point is going to be yet. It just says arriving soon. If you go to the Secret Lair site, it doesn't actually have anything up, but you can set like a notice for when it'll be arriving. I would guess, just based on the way Secret Lairs have trended, that we're probably looking at somewhere in the $300 range plus for this Festival in a Box. That is just based on looking at other trends. It is not an informed opinion. It could very well be wrong. It could be higher or lower, but if it was lower, I would be kind of surprised. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, The problem here is twofold. One, people are upset that obviously it's not going to get a retail release because there are some really good reprints, which we'll take a look at a couple of them in just a minute here. But, you know, just to spotlight one, for example, we've got Wasteland getting reprinted in here, and it has a white border, which is really cool because there is actually going to be a slot in the set that has a white border on the more modern style cards. I definitely think that's neat. I've never been a huge fan of white bordered, but it's at least unique and it looks different, so I applaud them for trying something different, as well as the Future Sight frame making a return here. This is going to be another slot in the set, and we've already seen some really cool Future Sight frame cards like Urza, Lord High Artificer. That just looks awesome. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Thassa's Oracle, another really good card that is getting a reprint here, which is obviously much needed, but I don't know how much of a difference the reprint's really going to make when you consider the fact that this is not going to be widely available in the same sense. Still, it's a really cool, like, thing to see these Future Sight cards getting some more love. We know Soul Ring. I mean, that just looks awesome, right? And based on some of the breakdowns I've seen, people on Reddit have been opening stuff. The biggest reprint I've seen in here so far is Urza's Saga. This is a blurry picture, and I do apologize. This was posted on Reddit, but it is, you know, a confirmation that the card is there, and it does look like this will be in the white bordered slot. Obviously, a pretty expensive card, a very in-demand card, and while this product is about drafting, we have to acknowledge the fact that the secondary market will play a role in some of this because there will be reprints, there will be value. A lot of people do like drafting, but you also have to construct a product that, like, is going to have some appeal to people to want to rip it open and participate. So obviously there's that fine line to toe, and it's too early in this process to know exactly what everything is going to look like, but generally speaking, the early reprints that they've shown seem cool so far, and it does look like it's going to be a lot of fun. It said that, you know, there'd be some more details shared on August 6th, which they kind of did put a few reveals up. I think that's where Scryfall got these actual, you know, scans for some of these cards. It's going to be really interesting to see how this product ages. Now, there are some people who I think might be on a little bit of that copium talking about how they think maybe they'll get a retail release because it took Mystery Booster 1 like 8 months to get a retail release. However, I do think COVID and the pandemic plays a part in that, and I don't know that we're going to necessarily see that same thing here, which is really unfortunate because while I don't necessarily have a problem with something being convention exclusive to incentivize people to go there, you see this in all kinds of fandoms, right? Like PAX has video games, and you'll get a video game you know, a PAX variant or a PAX different cover, something to incentivize people. So even if there was this regular edition of Mystery Booster, and then a convention exclusive one that had like a different stamp or a different symbol or maybe even some different cards in it, whatever, I have no problem with that. I'm not one of those people that thinks nothing can be exclusive. Like, that's just the nature we live in. I think people try to collect every single thing that comes out or every single product, and it's like sometimes you gotta pick and choose. Like, you have the FOMO that like you're gonna miss out, but like that's kind of an artificial thing that's created in your own head. Then again, you get cards, like I said, Urza Saga, that definitely need reprints, and some other really good cards in here where you're looking at it and you're like, okay, these are good reprints. I'd like to be able to get my hands on some of these cards, or maybe do drafts at home with friends, and right now the only way to do that is with the Festival in a Box. And Secret Lairs, as we now know, are limited stock, and I don't see anything to suggest that Festival in a Box is going to be any different unless they make an exception and this is just like print to order and they leave it up for a little while, because this will likely sell out in no time if this is the only way to get the product, which means it's not only going to have more hype behind it, it's going to be artificially inflated because everyone buys it out. And I think it's fair to say that the Secret Lair fiasco with this limited run thing is not working, and really they need to find another way to address it, because for a product like this, if it was available and anyone could go on and buy this Festival in a Box and it was up for a month and then they were like, all right, we're closing it, you have time, you can save up, you can figure out if it makes sense for you. Here it's going to be everyone rushing to the site as quickly as possible to buy this, and it will likely sell out very quickly, and that's without even knowing what the actual Secret Lair drop itself is going to be, because there could be some good cards there and there's no way to just separately get the mystery booster. So that's where this controversy is coming from, is everyone talking about this product as a whole being really cool and well designed but not available, and then you have the people saying, well, Bloomborough just came out, Duskborn came out, Foundations is coming out. There's obviously some product fatigue with some people, but I do think that, you know, you have to accept the fact that there is going to be a lot of product coming out. Speak with your money. If you're not interested in a product, don't buy it, or buy singles. Like, that's something that people say a lot, is you don't have to buy a bunch of every product that comes out, and if you choose to do that, that's on you. I don't mean to sound ignorant with that comment, because I open a lot of stuff, I follow a lot of stuff, but I skipped Assassin's Creed almost entirely because I had no interest in it. you know, there's a bazillion people who play this game, and people collect and play in different ways, in different formats, so having variety is good, but I think we can all kind of agree there is a little bit of product fatigue. They really need to space things out, and so the same people that are complaining online saying, oh, why can't we buy this as a box, why isn't it getting released, are the people saying, well, there's too many products coming out, so what are we going to do? This one is a convention exclusive that doesn't contain, you know, new cards necessarily, so it's not going to impact anything beyond making things more accessible, and that's where I got to the point of you're never going to please everybody, because it's like, okay, you either don't release it and it's like, why don't we get this, or you do release it and it's like, why are we getting this product when there's already a billion other products coming out? You're not going to make everybody happy. So I think the controversy is a little bit kind of silly, although I do understand why people would be frustrated with a product like this, to say, okay, well, maybe we could have waited on Assassin's Creed, or we could have put Assassin's Creed somewhere else, you know. Again, not discounting product fatigue, and a lot of this is just kind of like my unfiltered thoughts. There are some funny and kind of cool design playtest cards here. Cards like You Complete Me, Kozilek Completed. These are just fun. These are test cards that are obviously meant for the draft environment. I do enjoy that aspect of it. I also think it's very interesting they're getting some Acorn cards in here, like Oracle of the Alpha. If you guys play Arena, you're probably familiar with this card. It's very, very cool to see this card just getting a physical print. Of course, it's not going to be legal in any format, but just neat enough for what it is. To see these actually getting printed in paper, which I do like. So, you know, there's a lot to like about it based on what we've seen early from the product so far. And the good news is I think there will be singles still hitting the market, right? Like, stuff from this product will be open, will be going online, people will be buying it, and not everything can be wicked expensive. So there will be balancing out points that are just going to happen where you'll be able to get some of these cards. But some of the chase cards, some of the future sight stuff, these are probably going to be pretty pricey, unless there is some mass release of these. Because even if they, you know, people go to these cons and there's like 6 to 8 in a year, or however often they pop up, I don't know how often they do them specifically, it's not like there's going to be the largest supply. So this is where I bring it to you guys now, because this is obviously me just kind of broaching the topic with everybody. How do you feel about Mystery Booster 2? Are you excited for the product itself? Do you think it's a set you'd enjoy drafting? Obviously, we've seen some good reprints so far, and I think that's kind of undeniable. There's some actually really good value here, but is that value going to be passed on to the players, or is it only going to be kind of just like an alternate version of a card that's not going to drop, because of the fact that this is not going to be widely available? And to that end, do you think it will end up becoming widely available with enough pushback? Do you think people will make a retail version of this? And then do you think people will complain that there's a retail version of this? A lot of questions to talk about for a very controversial topic, but I just think it's fair to address that people are never going to be fully pleased no matter what, and you're going to have people who will complain about too much and too little, and you're going to have people like me who are just here like, I'm just going to enjoy what's here. But it doesn't mean I can't empathize with people's concerns on both sides. I just think at the end of the day, if you like a product, grab some singles, open a few, play with your friends. Don't feel like you have to buy every product that comes out, because that's quite literally not necessary. And you know, unless you have the money or the budget for that, you're going to end up draining yourself more than you need to. And nobody wants that, because at the end of the day, it is a game. It's meant to be fun. And obviously there are some people who really do get that vibe. That's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you about Mystery Booster, and if enough people have thoughts and stuff, we'll do a follow-up video talking about it as more information comes, because obviously we still have to wait and see what the secret lair listing is actually going to look like and how much it's going to be. But for now, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.